Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the squad. It's Black Thor, Ice Water, and yours truly, Puma. College season is heating up. You have Colorado and Texas. They keep rolling. Penn State puts a stop to Illinois. Alabama, I think, is ranked number one now over Texas. They really, to me, have mind control over Georgia because there's no excuse why you lose to an Alabama team. And I want to showcase a guy. I'm going to mention his name now. His name is, he's a junior running back from Boise State, Ashton Jeanty. 259 yards, 4 touchdowns against Washington State. He is up for the Heisman along with Hunter from Colorado. Black, your thoughts on college football this week?
Hey, man, college football, I'm going to blame it on NIL, man. There's some serious games being played now in college football, bro. NIL, we love it. I love it, man. I'm telling you, most of these games now, you can turn on to smaller schools, whatever. Like I mentioned a week before, Tulane, Washington schools play, and they have players now. Some of these players aren't going to the bigger schools, and they're going to different programs. It's exciting ball, man. I mean, Colorado's doing their thing, and you can say mind control, whatever, man. But I respect Georgia for coming back as Alabama Saturday night. Some time, but I'll say this real quick, man. I got to wait for Ice. Georgia, man, for the most part, man, it takes a lot to battle back from what they battled back from when they were down and made that a game and damn near pulled it off, man. I just don't understand when Alabama was in the fourth quarter when it was up by 14. Why isn't the quarterback basically draining every play down to 5 seconds and hiking it? He was leaving a lot of time on the clock when he was hiking. I just understand that. But to me, that's a little bit poor coaching and understanding game clock. But they got out there with a win. And then right now, they're ranked number one. So it's going to get good, bros.
Yeah. Ice, what are your thoughts on college football this week? There were a lot of good games, a lot of competitive games also. Florida State's still struggling. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, Florida State is not going to co-starting quarterbacks. So you know how that goes. That's crazy. But I know Alabama, Georgia's dynamite. They came back and they were down, but man, Alabama, they look like a well-oiled machine. You got the quarterback, Milroe they're 4-0. They got wide receivers, they got a freshman. Ooh. The spin move the freshman made after he made the catch to go to the end zone. I was like, man, they're gonna go in the film room and go, look, don't none of y'all else, no one else try that shit but him. Because that wasn't for everybody. You got to be a special dude. It shows you how the game has advanced. Because imagine anybody that played football back in the day, your coach would have rang your neck if you tried to say anybody tried that like that. But this kid is special, and they were amazing. They have depth. And the defense, it was Georgia, but the defense stepped up when they had to. That's what impressed me about them. Nebraska's 4-1. I like the way that they're playing. They're not going to win any championships, but I like the way that they're rebuilding that program. Duke is 5-0. Duke beat North Carolina. Mac Brown, it's all right, bro. We love you. Go on, bro. Go on. Let somebody else have that. Let somebody else have that. James Madison, okay? I don't care if they don't do nothing else the rest of the year. James Madison is 4-0. They scored 70 points and 63 points back to back. That's enough for me. That's some NIL money. That's Burger King treats, something. A couple more scholarships. They have changed the face of their program. Because you've been in trouble a couple times. And the scholarships not coming your way. You D1, you need to go to James Madison because they're going to let you throw the rock. They're going to let you play wide open. I'm going to James Madison. If I was them, I'd be like, look, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Indiana's 5-0 after beating Maryland. That says a lot. I don't know. You get a lot of teams jumping up like that too. And last but not least, I don't know what they're gonna do. We gotta give some love to Navy. Navy is 4-0. Navy, yeah, Navy. So I'm excited for these teams that have not been able to kind of really showcase who they are early, a couple years ago. But now, from the standpoint of they're making noise, and they may not do anything. I don't care. I just like it because it's nothing like a fan base getting hyped up. Your team won a few games, and y'all tailgating and partying, and then you just get the balloon busted. But that's okay. You have 4 great weeks of great tailgating, alumni boost, money coming in. Hey, and you're on TV. That's enough for me. Only one team can win a championship. So if you can do a little something prior to that and make the ball game, think about that. Indiana need one more game. They're going to the ball game. They straight for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And look out, Black. Notre Dame is ranked number 14. They just scoot their way right back. A few games from the top 20. Let's go to NFL football. Ice, is there any contenders? Who are the contenders and who are the pretenders right now in NFL football? Because from week to week, I know I've been getting hit hard with the picks. We're gonna do our pick show a little bit later and catch us on this particular channel. But I've been getting hard thinking that, okay, I think this team is dominant over this team. No, that's not the case. How the LA Rams lose to Chicago? Chicago. I don't understand that. And Pops calls me. No, he texts me after the game like, "Who won the game against the Rams in Chicago?" Man, you know who won the game against the Rams in Chicago. But who are the pretenders and contenders? And what's happening with Watson in Cleveland? Will he be there next year?
Well, it's hard when you talk about the picks. You can't really do that because I'm just gonna say not like I'm watching other people, but there's some folks over there that won like 1 week. They on national stage. They won 4 games in a week. We ain't never been that bad. I don't think I've ever been only won 4 games out the whole damn week. What is wrong with you? But you on national stage, and that's okay. We ain't hating on you. I'm glad you got that platform. But you want to see some realists? Come on up over here. With contenders and pretenders. Contenders, I mean, you still got to say KC. And I'm going to say that because of the factor that even though they winning by osmosis, the factor that they're losing almost all these guys, a lot of injuries from the running back to now wide receivers and Mahomes, even without Kelsey, defense is stepping up. They're finding ways to win. At the end of the day, it's about winning ball games. I thought Pittsburgh had a little something going on in Baltimore. I mean, not Baltimore, but they were like, hey, Indianapolis like, nah, hell nah. Flacco, the old man. I love it, man. Flacco like, I don't care. Just give me somewhere. Just wherever. You need some help? Call me. He got his cape on. I love to see him winning that way. I don't know if there's any really, I mean, what kind of true contenders can you say? Because you want to say Buffalo, but then again, you go watching that game last night, I'll say this. I'm going to say a contender. And I'm gonna get off of it. I'm gonna just say one. Everybody else can say what they want to. I say Baltimore is a contender. Baltimore showed me last night. They was what Dennis Green said. I'm gonna say it the opposite way. They're the team everybody think they can be. Last night they showed you that. You have a running back. Henry's amazing. You got these wide receivers. Finally, they got Lamar Jackson some receivers. They have tight ends, and the thing they're so deep at receiver and tight end that the number one tight end, Andrews, can't even get a pass. That's how loaded they are. Jackson has so much talent to throw to that Andrews is like an afterthought. And he's been the main guy forever. And the defense is stepping up. The defense is fired up like the old school, like with Ray and his little band of merry men. They are stepping up and pushing forward too. And what I love about them most for them anyway, for Baltimore is the factor that you finally get to see the whole package of Lamar Jackson. The way he was throwing that rock last night, those tight spirals on point, running, shaking, and that's him in the full arsenal. And I think if they do not, the coaches don't get in the damn way, they're gonna be a problem. If they keep playing the way they're playing, they're gonna be a problem because you cannot. It's like you can't stop them. It's like having Allen Iverson at point guard. I said he's been out of position for 100 years. I still say it. Put Lamar Jackson with that much talent, defense stepping up, they are going to be a major problem.
Black, if they can keep that big rascal healthy, they're gonna run away with the AFC. Your thoughts, man?
I'm going to do another Danny Green thing. Don't crown him just yet, baby. Don't crown him yet. We got some more. They did play the Buffalo Bills yesterday. When I think about Baltimore, I'm hoping. But when they play a good defense, their receivers don't get separation. And at some point, you know, their running backs don't start seeing 8, 9-man fronts and they're going to force Lamar to beat him with his arm. I'm not saying he can't. I just want to wait and kind of be a little more patient. I'm going to go with the two teams, man, that battled out yesterday. And one team won, of course, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers. Man. I think Green Bay Packers, I know they rushed Jordan Love back. I think if Jordan Love wasn't in that game, I think they would have won that game. I think it was a little rusty to get started. It took him a while to get loosed up. But Minnesota's for real, bro. Minnesota is for real. They got a good offensive mind head coach. They got a good defensive coach that used to be for Miami that's suing the league. Somehow, he's basically got that defense tuned up. They look good, man. I don't see another team with Kansas City. You know, it's all said and done. They're going to kind of be in the running. But between Kansas City and Minnesota, and I'm going to put Green Bay there. Because again, even though they lost very close, they battled back. Those two teams are very young. They're innovative. They're doing some things. They ain't afraid of no one. I don't see no one else in the NFC that's kind of basically kind of doing anything close to them. I mean, you talk about pretenders, two of them, Cowboys, Eagles, big time pretenders, baby. You can't get more pretender than that. Eagles, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if they're playing trick or treat. I have no idea what they're doing with that team, offensively and defensively. It's like they don't even get on the bus sometimes. So those my pretenders right there in the NFC. If I had to go AFC, I think Buffalo Bills is a big time pretender. They're going to find out. It wasn't only Diggs. They lost a lot of people on defense, and that team is not going to be able to kind of be able to pull it through all season. And another pretender. I don't care what they say, what they try to do. If you got Aaron Rodgers on your football team, you can't get one touchdown, all field goals get the Denver Broncos at MetLife, you're a big time pretender.
Yeah. We're not going to touch like a masseuse. We're not going to touch the Watson story right now. Maybe a little bit later. But let's go to the NBA. I get a text message at 9:00 on Saturday morning, last Saturday, saying, "Can you talk?" And folks, I was ready for a Black Door rant, and I got one. The Knicks traded for Anthony Towns, and I want to get his take on it, and then I'll get Ice's take, but I kind of thought about this over the weekend, and it kind of makes sense what the Knicks did. Black?
Bro, you said this a while ago. Sometimes we just can't have nice things. That's the thing about the Knicks. We just can't have nice things. We can't. Whenever we start getting good furniture, we get good clothing, we got to find a way to mess it up. And I don't care what anybody says. You bring the Towns and put him in a New York Knicks uniform, you don't like nice things. Man, the media is going to rip that brother to shreds when he starts disobeying, taking those jump shots, getting bad fouls. I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. You done picked up $220 million of nothing. I'm going to leave that right there. That's my short rant. Absolutely nothing.
Ice, you broke this story to us. So I'm going to let you have this one.
Hey, man, like I said, I mean, it's just hilarious because, you get Black Door, even though he don't want to admit it, he's still a Knicks fan. He like going, he hiding, what. He'll admit it if you bring it to him, but he's just like, you got to show me something. But it's like, when they make crazy changes, then it's like, really? So the Towns move, I'm sitting there going like, I could not stop laughing, like I'm laughing now because how much Black Door loves and Carl Anthony Towns. And then too, they said, what's he gonna play? Well, he's gonna play center in New York. In New York.
Oh.
I said, when did they start running gun basketball in New York? So with Tim as the coach too, who gonna play defense? You gonna get him to play defense? He shooting threes. So I'm watching it, and then I said, well, in a way, I thought it made sense because you lost the big fella. Was it Hammerstein? Went to OKC.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, do you bring back Julius Randle just because? Y'all don't like him. He shoot too much. And you said, well, he could have helped us in the playoffs. No, the hell he couldn't. He'd have been shooting too many shots. You barely got where you did. He's a gunner. I mean, he can shoot, he can play, but he's a gunner. And New York don't play that way. So, but you bring in Karl Anthony Towns, who I ain't saying y'all win the championship, but I think he can help y'all. You just got to get him to understand you don't need to shoot them shots all the time like you did in Minnesota from 3-point line. We need you down low, little big fella. Because he played in the inside before they made this transition. He was playing inside because he had to. They had nobody else. So I think he can do that. And when you look at the Knicks roster, the only thing though was that DiVincenzo. Oof. Yeah. Oh man, he's a dog, and you need them dogs when everybody else is tired and gassed. He just comes in and does a lot of major things. But Karl Anthony Towns is going to help you. He's going to give you more scoring. He does not have a problem passing the ball. Like he throw the ball out to Randall sometimes on the wing. It was going out on the island. It wasn't coming back except by tugboat. It just wasn't. And everybody knew that. So from the standpoint, he's going to pass the ball. I think he's going to be fired up about playing with them. And two, I think this is, get out this real quick. This is the Knicks' opportunity to rally around a guy that needed a little love, need a couple hugs. And if you coddle him just right, he'll play his ass off for you. And I think he has talent. I always said that about Colin. He can play, but you got to get him in the right situation where he's pumped up, because for so long he's been carrying the torch. People like Black Thor and others have been wanting to carry all by him lonesome, except you put him with Rudy Gobert and all that stuff. But if you surround him where he can just kind of play his game, play hard, he'll play a little defense, he'll get back, he can run the floor, he can shoot the three, he can go down and bang with you, and he's talented and he can pass. So if you don't make him the center point, which I don't think he will be with Brunson and those guys, let him play his game. I think you'd be better off than if you had Julius Randle for the next 3 years. That's just me. I would settle for that.
Okay.
I would do that. And you probably got him under contract still. So you can work with some things.
Well, I'm gonna tell him, Black, because we're from that area. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. So
Everybody hugging you, baby.
And look, let me say this last thing, and that's your problem. That's why you ain't won nothing, because you won't hug a brother. Everybody got me all.
Here's my thing. Because Saturday, Black had me all, down in the dumps, kicking rocks, walking my way home. But Randle kind of slowed things down. And I think the Knicks want to play more up-tempo, shooting threes. That's the name of the game in the league right now. Anthony can, Towns can get up and down the court. So Dante, not a better defender than Bridges. So Bridges can, play both ends of the court. Dante is a liability on defense. Sometimes he can't catch up with folks. So I can see how they gave him up, because they had Bridges up there. I forgot about Bridges, but Bridges kind of fills that spot. But Cat is not the guy that's going to be the number one guy. He doesn't have to worry about that anymore. You got Brunson there. You got a whole cast of characters there. He doesn't have to have the pressure of being the man like he was in Minnesota. It was him and Edwards in Minnesota. So he doesn't have that. And then I thought about this, Black. It could have been worse. They could have got Gobert. And so I'm glad they didn't get Gobert. That would have been a classic Knick move. Let's just fill the middle up with Gobert. So it could have been worse if Cat can give them 20 and 10 on a regular basis or average that. I'm good with it. Even less than that. You got Brunson. You got Hart. You got all these horses out there. He doesn't have to do it every night, like he was pressured to do it in Minnesota. So I'm going to wait and see on this one, but, anyway, I'm just going to wait and see, because Black had me all, I was so depressed. I didn't know what to do. And then now I know that Black is still a Knick fan. That's kind of happy. I'm not alone in this. But anyway, we got some sad news in the NBA. Mutombo Dikembe is with the Ancestors now and becomes an ancestor. And Black, when I remember Dikembe, is when he was playing with Denver, they were the number 8 seed and they beat the number 1 seed, and him on the ground palming that basketball like it was the greatest feat ever. 8-time All-Star, and had that finger, no. And he was pissed when, I guess Michael said he dunked on him. He was like, it took him 7 years to do it. Count how many block shots I had on him. But your thoughts of the ancestor, Dikembe.
It's interesting, man. Right when I started thinking about this brother, man, I went way back to Georgetown, and I thought about he's one of the guys that came from Georgetown, man. At that time, they were just coming out of Georgetown. He came in the league and basically established himself. And you're right, he had that finger. He just played, man. He went out there, played hard. He was a tall guy, but he was a big guy. But it was just, you think about when he came to Philly, right? He just kind of got in the lane. He went to work. He didn't say much. Every now and then he do a little trash talking. And I want to remember him just like that, bro. I want to remember him just like that. Just being a soldier, getting out there, doing what he had to do. And it's funny when I heard, not funny in a comical sense, but when you put it up that he passed, I was like, damn. Then I realized he was 58. I thought the brother was much younger. He just seemed like one of those cats that never aged, man. Like if you kind of put him out in the court right now, he could probably, give you a quarter or two. We're gonna miss him.
Yeah. Ice?
Yeah. It's one of those Warriors, man. It's like for a run that John Thompson had, he just kept getting back to back 6'10", 6'11". You have Pat Ewing, then you have Morning, then you had Dikembe Mutombo, right? You had Bill Martin. You had, for those that really know, Michael Graham. Yeah, don't forget big Michael Graham. They just kept loading. They were just tough guys. that would come in and be strong as heck. And to watch Dikembe Mutombo mature after he left Georgetown and come into his own was amazing. He was a solid big man, made a number of all-star teams, defensive players, he got awards, different things like that. But he was consistent, and that's what I liked about him. It was old school consistent, and he enjoyed it. He had a great personality. And I love the fact that when he never ran from his where he was from. He let you know he was African, and he was African, but he was like, I'm funny African. You know, I'm gonna be me, but I'm gonna still have a great personality. And I thought that's what came across when he delivered his messages. And most importantly is I don't think a lot of people are familiar with the work that he did when he went over to Africa and became an ambassador. Yeah. He opened the door for a lot of young people to play basketball. And you just kind of look at some of the African countries. Even recently, from the standpoint of like Senegal and whatnot, playing basketball, and also not just playing, but playing well. He became an ambassador because he went through everything. He knew what it would take to get a lot of the African, his brethren over. And also, he enjoyed every moment, but still never forgot, I need to go back to the homeland and take care of the people. An amazing individual.
Yeah, great humanitarian. We're going to skip the WNBA report because we got to go. Also, the Major League Baseball report, because there's still some games that need to be played, who gets in and who's out. So we're going to go to our last second shot. Black, last second shot.
I want to basically send kudos out to Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtics. He had a little beef going on with Nike where I guess they want to pay him well or do something. This brother started his own shoe line. That's what I'm talking about. Let me take that back. Sneaker line. I don't care what they cost me. I'm going to probably buy a pair. Because I want to see black men say, forget about you trying to own me, put me. Stop walking in Michael Jordan shoes. Do your own thing, bro. I salute you.
Ice?
This is hard because I usually don't do stuff like this, but when things are happening and you're impressed, you got to give it up. I want to give it up to the Washington Commanders quarterback, Jay Daniels. I saw it last week, I saw it before, and I was like, it was a fluke. And I started watching a little bit more. And the way that he helped his team dismantle the Cardinals, and it wasn't that he had to be so dominant, like he was the main leader or whatever, but the way that team is playing right now, because the Cardinals are a team that likes to go for a shootout as well, and the way that they had used finesse, and he showed he was in control, and his team is playing right now, you got to take your hats off, because the little man over there, Kyler Murray, is trying to put in work too, and the way that they won that game with a young quarterback at point looks a lot different, and I know things happen, looks a lot different than the gentleman over in Chicago. They win the ball games, and they look good doing it.
Good shot, fellas. My shot is to Lamar Jackson. There was a video, I don't know if anybody saw it, but he was on a plane, and one of his teammates was going live on one of the social media outlets. And Lamar Jackson just looked at him like, you shouldn't be on live. You should be getting your mind right for the game. That's a true leader. That's an old school leader right there. Get off the camera, get off social media. We're professionals. We got a job to do. Peace. See you next week.